Hi, everybody. This is Caleb Hale. I'm the Director of Communications for the SIU Alumni Association. This is your January update that we normally do. However, we decided to do it a little bit differently this week or this month because we are at the beginning of 2022. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that's going to be coming up. And Jeff needed a little bit of help just to keeping it all staying on track. So I do have Jeff Gleam with me today, our executive director. Jeff, say hi.
Hello, Salukis. Happy New Year. Hope your new year is starting off well.
And just tell us. Let's start off. Give me a recap of 2021, particularly the fall semester. How do you feel that went overall?
Well, Caleb, it was for the most part somewhat back to normal, or at least it felt a little bit normal. We were all, being safe, and we were wearing masks and doing the best we could to be socially distanced. But it was good to see the students, walking around campus in class, stopping by the office. For the most part, it felt normal. We were finally able to kick off some new events, starting off at the very beginning of the semester with Legacy Luncheon as a brand new program that we launched. And essentially what that was we were welcoming Legacy students and families for a lunch and brief program as they were moving their students in, and had over 200 attendees. That just was it felt like a great and normal way to kick off the school year. So we had that to look forward to. Certainly, just a quick recap, it won't take long, with homecoming. Never thought I would be so in tune to weather as I was for that week, and I know you too, so we can smile over that because it's behind us. But we brought back the Jungle Dogs, and of course it rained. And I said this to you and any of you that are baseball fans out there who watched Field of Dreams. It was kind of like in the 11th hour, that very last scene of the movie, Caleb, where you see all the cars, the headlights driving back in. Well, you were out there as well. We're seeing everybody texting people, they're going to play, they're going to play, they're going to play. And you saw all these headlights start pouring into the parking lot, and kind of reminded me of that. I thought it was kind of neat. But we did get the concert off, and we did get homecoming in. And it was a good feeling. We did a few other things, a few new partnerships with people around campus, including the museum and the library. Those are more to come for next year, and we're only going to ramp up for what people might have seen or heard about this past year. We're only going to make it bigger and better next year. So, and then as we went into the winter months, we had a winter break, and we're able to catch our breath, and now we're kind of here. We're going to talk a little bit about what's in store for our alums between now and the end of the semester.
Yeah, let's talk about that because it's the end of January at this point, but we've already actually started a few events that have kicked off. We had 2 in-person events so far and 1 virtual events so far. The SIU night at Bradley and Loyola, which you're actually just getting back from Loyola. Tell me about those and how the good attendance for those events. I think alumni are excited that we're back doing those types of things. But what was your reception to them, and how did it go?
People were just so appreciative that we were doing these, because you just don't know with COVID rules and regulations. And, we got lucky with being able to host both of them safely. But people were so appreciative, and it was nice to actually see people in person. We got another one coming up for Illinois State, so that will be 3 kind of back-to-back men's basketball events that we've hosted. But it's good to see alumni there, and it was just a good feeling.
Yeah, and that the SIU night at Illinois State, that is coming up on February 5th, so pretty shortly. We do have our SIU events page at siualumni.com. Go to the events tab. You can bring this up. These are some of our upcoming events that are coming up at the moment. we'll be filling this out with even more stuff as the days go on, but this is what we've got right now. Already some stuff that you can sign up for, including Missouri Valley virtual beer tasting event at the Big Money Brewing. And let's talk about that. We already did one virtual event back earlier in the month with it was interesting. It was a mixology thing. It was basically mixing stuff at home, and we're trying stuff new to find out how to keep alumni entertained, especially during the cold months when we couldn't otherwise necessarily get out and do some stuff. But we had a little bit of fun. I've got a clip of us having a taste of what I think is called the SIU Sunrise during this this event. So take a look here.
Can I ask a question before? So there's obviously different colors and layers of this. This isn't something I'm going to stir, right? I'm going to.
You can if you want. It sort of depends on how much of a cherry flavor you want.
Is this a sip from the top or sip from the straw?
Either way, you're going to get more flavor if you do it from the straw.
I'm going to try it. We'll try it both ways.
Oh, you want me to do the straw?
Number one, a lot of soda water. And we're doing the straw.
Yeah, except from the top, you really it moves a lot. So you got to sip it.
Yeah.
So that was us having a little bit of fun.
It was, and props to Dustin Fisher, who is he's a student there. He was the bartender. He's licensed, and short end of a long story of that night was we did 3 drinks. One we tried to time to SIU, but Dustin, he did a great job of talking about the history and what some of the terminology is. If you're not in tune with spirits, as if you saw the look on my face on taking that straw drink, caught me off guard a little bit, but it's been fun. And one thing, Caleb, you and I talk a lot about this, is that with the last 18 months with the pandemic, it's really forced us to get creative, to think differently how we communicate, how we entertain, how we inform. And well, that was built around it was primarily fun, but there was some information that we shared, and I just thought it was well-rounded. And we're looking at new ideas. If you have any out there, we're all ears, but just trying to stay creative and use technology to the best of our ability.
Yeah, and we are going to evolve on the concept of that later this or next month in February when we do our virtual beer tasting event at the Big Money Brewery, which is open for registration now. It's free to register for. You can go ahead and sign up if you want to get on that. Really, this isn't anything that you'll necessarily need to sign up for. Make sure you got sign-ins, registrations, and stuff going, because we will be broadcasting this out over our social media channels, like our YouTube channel. It'll also go live on our Facebook channel, our Twitter page as well, so people can interact with it from there once it does go live. But that does happen on February 24th at 7 p.m. I think what we'll be doing is sampling some of the beer that they have available to them. We're also, anyone who does register, though, will be getting a list of the beer that will be tasted and sampled. Typically, you can find those in a lot of places, particularly if you're in Illinois. So you can buy a couple bottles or a case of it and taste along with us as we go on. So we're evolving on that format. Won't always necessarily have to do around alcohol. I don't want to give people the wrong impression of us, but these are just the kind of social things that we can kind of do. The educational. It also touches on a lot of the talent and a lot of the programs that we have here at SIU. So it opens those kinds of conversations as well. I do want to move beyond that point, though, and let's talk about what comes up beyond then, because we got some big events happening. Bloomington, February 5th. That's another gathering that we invite people to join us at. But let's talk a little bit about some of the major events coming up, and I think we start with the Day of Giving that is happening up here in March. And the page for the Day of Giving is open at this point right now. You can go online to siuday.siu.edu and you can actually sign up to become an ambassador for this year's event. Jeff, tell me what are your anticipations going into this event, and how can alumni best participate in this, and what's new for it?
So if anybody's familiar with the way Day of Giving was talked about last year, we did, the foundation did a full day of live conversations, presentations, videos, you name it, in conjunction with WSIU Studios, which was fantastic. I think if we are one of the only schools that have ever tried something like that. Hats off to the foundation for the work they did last year. This year, it's going to be very similar. The one twist I will add to this, without giving it away, is we actually will be closing out Day of Giving in St. Louis live. And that will take place Wednesday evening. I believe that's March 3rd. Details of where and when will be forthcoming. So stay tuned. We'll have it on our website. The foundation will have it on theirs. We'll be sending out information about it. But kind of a unique twist to Day of Giving. And again, hats off to what the foundation did last year. And it's only going to be bigger and better this year.
Yeah, it was out of necessity a lot last year because you couldn't. Typically, we brought a lot of people to campus for Day of Giving. We couldn't do that last year, so the format was born out of necessity. But what we found out is, well, we can really involve many more people than we can, out there by broadcasting this live online than we can bring to campus. So we decided, why not retain that element of it, and why not amp it up with a little bit of stuff that we're going to be doing here on campus and then on location in St. Louis. Perfect timing for us in St. Louis as well, because that rolls right into the MVC Tournament weekend, where we're expecting the Salukis to play. They'll either play Thursday or Friday for that first game. The SIU Alumni Association, as usual, will be doing a pregame event on that. We'll have all the details kind of fleshed out on that. But Jeff, tell me about what we're kind of looking at for the MVC weekend.
Well, I'm just going to warn everybody, be flexible. As Caleb alluded to the fact, we don't know when we're going to play. Unfortunately, this year, because of scheduling and logistics, if we play Thursday night, which let's just say we're not going to, we don't want to play Thursday. But in case that we do, we will be at a different venue. We will be over at Ballpark Village if we play Thursday night. When we play Friday night, more optimistically, we will have our traditional, a little more traditional event in the Lindbergh Room, right? Lindbergh Room at the Hilton Hotel across from Ballpark Village. So still lots of basketball to be played, still lots of jockeying for position and seeds. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the association will be there. There will be other activities in conjunction with basketball taking place, with a Saluki takeover of St. Louis that we are supporting the foundation, or helping the foundation promote. So more to come on all those details, both on our website and the foundation website. So stay tuned if you want to find out where Salukis are going to be the week of MVC Tournament in St. Louis.
Yeah, we will let everyone know definitely, but just know if you're in if you're in St. Louis for MVC weekend, anytime between Wednesday night to Saturday, Sunday, just know we'll be there. We'll be around. So keep your eyes open for the Saluki news on that front, and we look forward to seeing everyone there. It's always a good time. I think everyone enjoys it. That was another event we did not get to do as we normally did last year. So it will be nice to have this return to form this year on top of the Day of Giving stuff that we're going to be doing. So hopefully everyone's excited enough to be part of that as well, since we had to take a year off on that one. Beyond that, we've got the Distinguished Alumni Award Ceremony that's happening at the end of April. And Jeff, tell me about what tell us them, just remind them, what is the Distinguished Alumni Award Program and what is its purpose?
So the Alumni Awards program is honoring anywhere from 5 to 6 individuals or groups, depending on how they were entered as far as a category. Culminating with one Distinguished Alumni Award winner. It's more of a career achievement, lifetime achievement type of award. Nominations, we received a number of nominations. They are closed. Winners have been selected and they are being notified now. This will take place April 29th. We added a new award this year, and with technology and creativity and time for people to think, we did add a creativity award or innovation award, I'm sorry. And that could go to an individual or a group who has dreamt up something really cool, really neat, out of the box thinking that they presented the idea and our awards committee reviewed it, and we do have a winner for this year. So we keep building, we keep adding. You know, we're not perfect, so you know, the more we get constructive feedback, the better that our programming and activities will be. So thanks to everybody for that contribution.
And definitely, we've had all the award. The nominees, the awardees for this year have been selected. We're not announcing who they are just yet. That'll be to come. But we'll soon enough be opening up nominations for additional ones for next year's award and for years in that. Keep in mind, when you do nominate someone, we do keep them in a file essentially for 2 to 3 years, and consider their contributions against others that we get in as to, you know, what we're going to do, who we're going to give an award to. We have a committee that's part of our national board of directors that does help us in selecting these nominees. So it's kind of a rigorous screening process. We have our methods, and we have taken steps in these past few years, even though we couldn't really go full force with it because of the pandemic, but we have been revamping parts of the program, and hopefully as we get a little bit more normal and as the years go on, more of that'll come out. The full effect of that will come out as we're going. Let's talk about on the board front, Jeff, because we did just make some progress on our national board of directors front as well with our national call for nominations. We're in the process of actually selecting those new nominees now. So Jeff, tell me about that. Where's that stand?
So right after the holidays, we sent out a national call for nominations to serve as a member of our board of directors. It's a 2-year term with the option to be renewed up to 5 additional times. Amazingly, we had 44 nominations this year, all wonderful nominees. Unfortunately, we only have so many open positions. So there was a nominating committee pieced together that did the review. We're wrapping that up here yet this week and last week in January. So we're close to making an announcement about this. But that is, we really haven't conducted something like that to this degree for a national call. So I was really excited about that. We've got a great pool of candidates going forward for future nominating years. So in the end, it's a win-win for everybody. So we've got interesting, qualified people that want to be a part of the SIU Alumni Association board. So that's great.
And the response to this has been pretty strong as well. We've gotten several dozen people who submitted materials in their interest. And just to note that the purpose of doing it this way, we have an alumni population of roughly 250,000. It's geographically diverse. It's diverse in, you know, pretty much everywhere, every way you can think of. So we want our board to reflect that diversity and kind of the transitory nature of it, being that, you know, our alumni population is always changing. It's always growing. That needs to be reflected on our board as well. We don't want to become one of these boards that kind of sits and stagnates and doesn't keep up with the times on this. So that's kind of our purpose in bringing in so many new people at once and trying to keep the revolving door going as we move forward. And, you know, the initial response was great. I think we'll just get more response as the years go on and we do additional ones of these. So if anyone missed this round somehow, they didn't pick up on it, or they didn't notice that we made this call, we'll be doing this again in the future. Keep that in mind, and you know, always feel free to reach out to us if you think you have something you want to contribute to the association. Couple of other new programs that are in place right now, or that will be starting up. Let's start with well, not really a new program, but a new cycle of recruitment. Our Student Alumni Council, where they are going to open applications for this coming academic year, starting in February. And you know, to our alumni, a lot of this goes on campus, so it's not really necessarily pertaining to them, but if you have students or people you know who are currently at SIU and are looking for a group to get involved with that does a lot with leadership, volunteer communities, the Student Alumni Council, our registered student organization with the university is a good place to go. And Jeff, I'll let you talk about it because you know them a little bit better than I do from talking with them. And the initial group of people that we got in, because you do have to apply and be interviewed to get in. It's been a great group of students so far. So tell me about that.
It's a wonderful group of students, and it just each time we go through this process, and every time I talk to them, I feel dumber and dumber sometimes because these kids are just so smart and so talented. I mean, they're going to be our future bosses here soon, not only just from the alumni aspect of it, but just around the country. I mean, these people are gearing up to be industry leaders, and it's so good to see that. Recruitment does start 1st of February and will run through March. Caleb, just to reiterate what you already said, if you have kids that are planning to come to SIU or at SIU that are current freshmen, this program is for sophomores through seniors. If you have friends that have kids that are here or coming here, please, if you want more information about this program, please look on our website, contact me. I'd be happy to fill you in on just the wonderful work and wonderful ideas that these kids generate that we've actually incorporated in some of our programming going forward. But just a great group to have around, and it's always nice having students in the building and learning more about what we do, but becoming better educated ambassadors about the work that we do. So that's been great.
Right. In addition to that, we'll be doing another student-oriented program, the Dinner with 12 Salukis, which this year also will kind of be getting its you'll be seeing more of the full effect of, because we did pilot this last year to a smaller degree. Again, pandemic restrictions kind of curtailed how much we could do, and also being at our first year, we didn't necessarily want to go too broad with it. But this year we will be hosting the Dinner with 12 Salukis. And Jeff, tell me about that program and essentially what it is.
So we piloted it last year as you alluded to, Caleb, because of COVID, we just had a small number groups and small number hosts. This year, we have over 200 students signed up. We've got, I think, 25, 30, 35 alumni volunteers that are willing to host. The idea behind this program is you take 12 students, doesn't have to be 12, it's just a catchy phrase, but anywhere from 8 to 12 students with like professional goals. So say you want to be a nurse. We would look for maybe 1 or 2 alumni that are in that field that would host a dinner and could talk about how they got to be where they're at, how SIU helped them get to where they were at, be there to kind of answer questions about the field and what they should be doing and are they on the right path and so forth. You get the idea. We do ask alums to flip the bill for paying for something. It doesn't have to be extravagant. You can have as many hosts as you want, but we're currently wrapping up the hosting opportunity now. So if you have an interest in hosting one or want to be a host for a particular area, please reach out to me or Caleb or Michelle Rust, who runs this program. I'd be happy to get you signed up. But I think this is a program that's only going to continue to grow as people get more familiar with it, both on the hosting side and the student side. And anxious to see how this goes.
Yeah, we'll definitely have more student involvement this year, more alumni involvement. Word spreads, and you've got everyone who didn't get on this time. Just know you do have your chance. Usually we start signing people up around the end of the year, around the holidays, to volunteer to become a host of this. And then more toward the beginning of the year, we will work on the particulars, where you're going to be and the placement and what students are going to be with you. Final program we wanted to talk about that's new. Well, it's kind of new. It's been revamped. It's been redone. Class ring program. Tell me about this, Jeff. We've got a new official SIU class ring.
So we've gone back and done some research to look at the ring itself, people who were interested in the ring, and essentially we've just decided, out with the old, in with the new, we're going to try something different. We have multiple designs of a ring for a man and a woman, multiple options for those. You'll be seeing information coming out here probably within the next week or so about your different options, pricing, where to go, how to do it, all that good stuff. But the association is sponsoring this program. Our goal is to kick it off with this spring commencement. That does not mean that the students who graduated in the fall or this winter cannot get this ring, because they can. Actually, if you're a graduate, any of you can. But we've changed it up a bit. So there'll be more information coming out. There'll be more information on our website that you can see what the rings look like. I got to tell you, Caleb, they're pretty sharp. And there's diversity in the options, which I think most people, male and female, will like. So that is coming out, and we're excited to get that out and anxious to see what the interest is.
Okay. So what else? We've covered a lot here, and then you can see why we changed up the format this month, because there's a lot that we did want to cover right off at the first of the year to let people know what's coming up. We'll be kind of back to our quicker hit formats in the months to come. But before we kind of leave this conversation, what other things can alumni look forward to in 2022?
Well, Caleb, let me just, I'm going to end with a teaser, but let me just talk just for a second about some of the work that the staff and our board and our alums have contributed to recently, which will be kind of a roadmap for us going forward, and that's a new strategic plan. So a small group of board members, the staff got together dating back at the end of spring. We examined where we were with the existing or former strategic plan, saw that there were a number of things in there that just didn't jive with the direction that we wanted to go and were going. So we essentially just decided to start over. We do have a new 3 to 4 or 5 year strategic plan in place. There'll be more updates about that, but I just want, if you're wondering, well, what are your goals, what are your initiatives that you're focusing on? There are five goals. We're looking at more inclusive alumni engagement, and there'll be strategies behind that. More campus partnerships. We are a small staff, but we rely on working with others around campus. Many of them have very similar goals. There's synergies there. Communications is going to be big. Organizational sustainability. We want to make sure that we're around for the long haul. We're taking a look at what does that entail? What does that look like? And yes, we are looking at the membership dues organization part of this. And then finally, our fifth goal is looking at future and new alumni. So that's dealing with prospective and current students, and that's dealing then with, our new graduates. Everybody wants a little bit of something different. So we're looking at generational programming going forward. So more to come on that over the next several years, but that was one thing that I do want to thank our board for offering feedback and working with us on that. Finally, just a couple of teasers, Caleb. We've talked about some of the innovation things that we've come up with, creativity in our virtual and in-person programming. More short-term coming up in March, we're going to be looking at, we're bringing back bracketology. And that's where we have two individuals and myself in the room talking about the NCAA basketball tournament. Why do people pick who they pick? Is there something in your brain that makes you pick something, a particular team, or are you wins and losses and conference and all that? So kind of talk a little bit about that, and that was a hit last year. One other teaser, I'm primarily targeting maybe those 1950-ish grads. Long story short, when I first got started 2 years ago, everybody talked to me about this cannon. What is this? Where is the cannon? I didn't know anything about this cannon. So just as a teaser, we know where the cannon is. We know what the story is. And we'd like to hear maybe some of your thoughts and your stories, but maybe some of the younger alums who don't know anything about this cannon. What is it? So how about that for a tease? And one more teaser, Gray Dog. That's the Saluki. Where did that come from? How did we get that? So if you're interested in maybe any of those two things that I might have mentioned, you might want to follow along our website and on social media to see what are these guys up to.
Okay.
So how was that for a tease, Caleb?
That's pretty good. Speaking of, when you talked about bracketology and picking why do you pick who you pick? Speaking of why you pick who you pick, astute viewers might notice some off-brand colors for our resident Ohio native, Jeff, here. And as we sit here at the end of January, prior to the Sunday game, tell me about your prospects of the Bengals closing out the season.
Well, I did, with Zoom, you're always worried about your backdrop, but this is one that I wanted to showcase because the timing is right for that, hopefully, for that big game coming up. I'm a lifelong resident of Ohio, born and raised in Ohio. I'm too old to change my team, so I've stuck with my Cincinnati Bengals for, I won't say how old I am, but a number of years. And to see them back in the playoffs, AFC Championship game, I think everybody knows where I'll be at 2 o'clock Central Time. And yes, I will be at the Saluki game as well when we play Valpo. But hats off, kudos to the Bengals. Looking forward to that.
All right. Well, we'll see if Jeff has jinxed the team here and today on that, but we'll leave it there. Obviously, we'll be coming back to you in the coming months, and you can follow us anytime you want. Reach out to us. You'll know when we know what we're up to and what else new is going on. And I mean, I'd always expect something new to happen. So, but for here, we're going to close it out on this particularly long form interview. Like we said, we had just a lot to cover, and Jeff couldn't fathom trying to get all this in the usual 2-3 minutes I usually force him into for these. So thanks for joining us, Jeff. I'll let you sign everyone out.
Well, sign off as usual. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoy this. Hope it's informative, but go Dogs.
All right. We will see everyone as 2022 progresses. Have a good day.